All right, this is Nash here, and today we're going to be talking some Texas Longhorns baseball 2023 edition. You can obviously see I did a little bit of change behind me. The 2023 season is about to kick off tomorrow. I will be having content. I'm not sure if I'm going to do it immediately after each game or if I'm going to let a certain amount of games or the whole series stack up. We'll come to that bridge when we cross it, but I will be doing Texas baseball content this year just like I do for football. I've always said this. I'm a Texas baseball fan first and a Texas football fan second. My first love for Texas was Texas baseball, and that's just how it is. But if you like the video, drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below your thoughts on the Texas Longhorns 2023 season. I forgot to mention this. I will be streaming tomorrow for the Arkansas game at 7 p.m. Please come out. It's going to be more of a Longhorn fan hangout. Keep people updated throughout the game. I will be having a game cast up here somewhere, but I'm not able to show the actual physical game on the screen because I could risk getting my channel taken down, and obviously don't want to do that. But back to y'all's regularly scheduled programming. Thank you. As always, we're trying to make our 39th trip to Omaha. There should be nothing less for Texas Longhorn fans, baseball players, coaches, anybody associated with the program. That's the goal. Making it to Omaha every single year is the goal for a Texas team. And not to say that making a super regional or a regional is a failure, but it's just that there are very high expectations at this school for the University of Texas. Now, let's hop right into the video. Let's get the negatives out of the way. I hate to see this. This is, if you watch my previous video, the shoes is loose. Well, the shoes is not loose. Unfortunately, Kimball Schuessler is likely out for the season. At an index finger injury, going to be requiring surgery. I got to see him a little bit to him in relief of Silas Ardoin. And we'll get to that piece of bad news. And nothing bad about Silas, real quick. Let me just say that real quick. But don't want anybody getting worried. But Kimball, he looked good. He looked like he looked like he had a stick. He looked like he was a decent defensive catcher back there, and I was excited to see him. Gonna have to wait a little bit more, but opens up some doors for some other guys, like a transfer that we brought in from USC at catcher. But other bad news. We're going to have some holes to fill. Ivan Melendez right there. That is a rather Titanic-sized hole, if I'm putting a good pun on it. But you also got Murphy Staley. Silas Ardoin. That having the catcher's like the quarterback of the defense. And yeah, having Silas back there was it's one of those things that when you don't think about it, oh man, it's great. But when you're thinking about it, it is a headache to have to deal with having a bad catcher back there, and not even a bad catcher, but just not a set it forget it catcher. You know what it's like? It's like a good cornerback on defense. He's gonna cover the wide receivers, and you just don't worry about it. And then as always, third baseman, Skylar Messenger. Don't want to leave him out. Trey Faltine. There's holes. We're losing some guys. Center field. It's a laundry list of names. Pete Hansen. And then that goes to my second thing. So you got Kimball Schuessler. Hey, we got some very, very big holes to fill. Not holes. Well, we do have holes to fill for 2023, but shoes to fill. You look at the Friday night starter bar, okay? It is a 3-point. You're in between 3.0 or 4.0 ERA. And if you're below that, great, we'll take it. But you look at the names that we have. On this list. Kingham, Bryce Elder, I mispronounced that. Ty Madden, Pete Hansen, but full name's Peter. Got to meet his family, and a little cool backstory on that. The guy sits next to me. He got to talk with Pete Hansen's dad. There was a day that like their entire family was in town, and he got to talk with Pete Hansen's dad, and Pete Hansen's dad was like, "Hey, it's happening tonight. It's going down." And then, Pete Hansen went off that game. I forget the exact stat line, but he had a lot of guys. We were getting a great breeze in the front row. I'll just say that. But we got Lucas Gordon from last year. He was, this was what a surprise that was. We had a lefty staff. It was, a lot of lefties coming at you from the Texas bullpen, from the Texas starters. But Lucas Gordon, man, he really, when we needed a guy to step up last year, he stepped up. He did the damn thing. Pardon my language, but he was everything that we needed as soon as Tanner Witt went down, because we knew we needed a guy. We needed another guy to pop up. Well, Lucas Gordon, the baton is being handed to him. He is the Friday night starter. This is as you see right here, it's a big deal. Nolan Kingham, 2 years, I believe. Yeah, 2 years. 3.74 ERA in those 2 years. 148 Ks. 18 wins, 9 losses. Bryce Elder, 2019, 2020, that 2020 year. Ooh, man. He was looking good early on. We were looking like that Texas team was looking like they could do some damage. And really, that Texas team, that 2020 Texas team, was the Texas team that laid the foundation for an Omaha run in 2021 that almost sent them to the finals. We were a few outs away from actually having that was a very good game versus Mississippi State, that second game. And that was even after they had that. I'm blanking on the dude's name, but I don't even want to remember his name because he was he was mowing us down left and right. Mississippi State Bulldogs pitcher. I can't. I'm trying to rack through my brain. Can't find it. But then the next year, obviously, we make it to Omaha, get sent out pretty fast. After we lost Tanner Witt, our guys were gassed. Completely used. Just the tank was empty. Pete Hansen. You had Pete Hansen and Lucas Gordon, guys that pitched near or at sub 3 ERA levels last year. They went out there and they stunk it up. There's no hiding from it. No running from it. We got our butts kicked in Omaha last year, but at the end of the day, still finished top 8, still Omaha run, and only at a school like Texas is that kind of diminished a little bit. But so now that we're done with the negatives, okay? Obviously we got holes to fill. Pete Hansen, there's going to be holes to fill. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Positives. Hey, hopefully we get a little Mitchell Daly resurgence. If he had a sophomore slump. If we get that freshman Mitchell Daly back, this helps this Texas team out a lot. And I think one of the best things that this Texas team has going for them, they're not being nobody. And when I say nobody, it's like Baseball America has them in the top 25. They're almost. I know I'm kind of sound like a whiny Texas fan, but it seems like they're kind of being cast off as almost like an afterthought. And that brings me to my next thing. You got one of my favorite Twitter follows out there. Occupy Left Field. New faces, same expectations. Tomorrow we start the road to Omaha, 39th trip. And that's the expectations, new faces. But at the end of the day, it's Texas. It doesn't matter if you're a young squad or if you've lost Ivan Melendez and a bunch of other home run hitters. This is Texas. You got to reload. This is a restock and just keep it moving, keep it pushing. Especially for Texas fans that were accustomed to the 2000s. Now, yeah, you might have a down year, and we're going to experience bumps in the road this year. Just hopefully the entire year of 2023 is not a giant bump in itself. Now, guys that I'm looking, like I already named off Daly. Unfortunately, the shoes is not loose this year, but Dylan Campbell. Woo! I cannot wait to see Dylan Campbell go out there and just he was hitting at a very good rate to end the season. Like to end the season, I think it was a full 100 on his batting average was up. He had majority of his home runs came in the second half in the last 2 months of the season. So when you're talking May and June, when the weather got warm, so did Dylan Campbell, and hopefully he can continue that into this year. He is looking to be the superstar of this defense and on the Texas offense. We have guys. I've seen a name popping around, and also he looked good in the limited time that we saw last year. Porter Brown. This is a guy that I am hopeful that he can do well, especially on offense. You have Eric Kennedy. I mean, Eric Kennedy is always for true Texas baseball fans. He's always going to be one of the fan favorite guys. Like always. I felt so bad for him last year when he got back in, tore his hamstring, or like tweaked his hamstring, not tore, tweaked his hamstring, like first play back after rehabbing it. Sucked. He did get back in after that, but you get what I'm saying. Eric Kennedy, speed demon on the bases, and that's a guy back in the outfield that you feel good as a pitcher. If, you don't like giving up line drives, but if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it with some really fast outfielders behind you to back you up. And you got to consider the other starters. I mean, I listed off the Friday night starts, but it's just not Friday nights. You need the other two. You need Saturday and Sundays too. And we're going to be having, it looks like we're going to be having a Zane Morehouse go on day 2 and Travis Staley go on day 3. And Travis Staley, he was a guy that last year, like he looked really good, But when he started to not look, like when he hit his limit, when he hit that limit, it was done. Send Pierce out there right now. I don't care if the other dude's warming up. It's better. Do it, But if he can start and if he's expanded that ceiling of the pitches where, hey, I can keep going and keep going and keep going and keep looking good. If he's a day 3 starter, that's a comfortable day 3. And he may even move up at some point. Who knows? We'll see. And then obviously when you talk about positives, Tanner Witt. I mean, now hold on. I'm not sitting here saying we're getting Tanner Witt back. Yeah, no, it's not. Will it happen? Who knows? Could it happen? Yes. And that is that's the thing that I'm, woo! That's the time to get, celebrate good times. Come on, That's the most you'll ever hear me sing on this channel, by the way. But, yeah, Tanner Witt. If we were to get, even just in some limited role down the year, down the line, because what you got to remember is our first exposure to him as a pitcher. The dude has ice flowing through his veins. He is cold-blooded. Cold-blooded animal. That's why he lives in Texas. That's why he's in Texas, because he cannot survive without the Texas sun beaming down on him. I mean, this dude went out there, bases loaded, and shut that door versus a very talented TCU team. As a freshman. I mean, this dude, like, we didn't see much of him. And then we were like, hey, Tanner, we kind of need you to look. We need you. We're kind of running out of options here. And he just said, all right, yeah, I'll shut the door. I'll do it. And he made it. And it was just how easy he made it look, too. And I mean, if we can even get that dude back to just survive an inning or two at the end of the season, wow, that's a huge gain in and itself. And also from reading the reports, it feels like he's kind of got to be the one to, like, he wants to play, but a lot of other people around him are like, hey, let's pump the brakes and let's MLB draft. Let's not hurt that arm. But gotta love that he always wants to compete, and I'll tell you right now, MLB has to love that too. And who knows even if that's the real thing, because he could have the fake reports about, oh yeah, he wants to play. Well, hopefully he wants to play, because I mean those are the dudes that you want playing on your team, because it's baseball. It's that kid's game. It's that thing that you gotta want to do. You have to want it. You gotta really love the game. But I will be streaming tomorrow. I'm gonna be reacting to the game. I will not be able to show the actual footage on my channel without getting a strike or even a worse, just getting my channel just completely taken down. So, live reaction of the game tomorrow, but hopefully I will be able to do the cut-ups. We got a good one coming up. Vanderbilt, Missouri, nope. Arkansas, Missouri, Vanderbilt. All right, everybody. Hope you all have a great day. And as always, hook 'em!